What's up, everybody? This is your boy coming back for the KVN Show. This probably one's gonna be short. Yeah, gosh, it's tough playing in the NFL, losing in the NFL. Being a part of it is not fun when you lose. It's an amazing opportunity, and it was an amazing atmosphere at the beginning of the game wearing the All Blacks, but man, it sucks losing. Can't say that enough. When you lose, it's tough. I've been kind of just after that one. It's tough watching from the sideline, or tough not being to be out there because you put in a lot of time, effort, and energy with the group of guys, and you respect it and you want to put it on the line for them. And first things first for this game starts with me getting healthy and trying to do everything I can in my power, working with the Ravens, working with my people to just continue to gain strength and, health and get back on the field as fast as possible. Yeah, it stinks watching. I hate watching. It's brutal. You want to just go out there and help and do, wish you could play God a little bit and, the ball's coming right there, doing different things like that. And it was just a rough night at the office for the defense. And yeah, just not what we want to put on film, not how we want to play football, the standard that was set a long time ago, and just where we're at now. And, we're 1-2. That's the reality. We got to go on the road and play at Kansas City next week. Tough opponent. But let's just dive into the game a little bit. A couple, just plays that come to mind there's a bunch, sorry. I think of every possession like sets, defensively, we had a couple good sets in there. Got some pressure on Goff. The 3rd and longs at the beginning of the game where we couldn't get off the field, those are tough. The 2 drives where they were able to drive 90 plus yards to get touchdowns. I want to look at it more in detail, but just got to get off the field on 3rd down. Got to make a play. Got to find a way to get turnovers. At this point, I'm ready to start something to get a turnover where we need them bad. Yeah, it felt like the pass rush was just everything was. You have a pass rush, and then the coverage was solid. Just a couple times they made better plays than we did on 3rd down to get off the field offensively. Sorry, this is what I was thinking about earlier, was the set on the 1 yard line. Gotta score, do whatever it takes to score. And that's tough, and we know they're going to figure it out. The offense does really, really well. Defensively, we got to figure it out ASAP. The one thing that I always try to go back to is optimism. Optimism that we know, unfortunately, what this feels like being 1-2. Backs against the wall, find a way, find whatever it is you need to do to get better. That's what I look at first, is me in the mirror during this. How can I be a better leader? How can I get healthy to get back on the field to contribute? I look at all of those things to allow myself to get back out on the field. It's easy for me to be on this mic after a game and say, this sucks and that sucks, but I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to stand the line with my guys. That's ZO included. That's the pass rush. That's the run defense. That's coverage. That's situational football. We're going to find a way. We're too good of a football team, and we're going to find a way. I truly believe that. We're going to find a way to be in games and get where we need to go. But it starts with one play at a time, one locked in play. You're 1-11, focusing on your job, your task, and doing it at a high level and doing it over and over and over and over like a machine, and get to play alongside some really good football players that love football, love competing. And I'm grateful to be in a place with some of those guys where I believe, and I'm excited to get back out there. Disappointing loss. There's no way to sit here on a mic and tell you this and that. It was just not good enough and not to our standard. And fans too, I was a fan tonight, and gosh, it's tough. A little optimism from the game was Mandrews going crazy. It was good to see him make some plays tonight, some tough catches. Good to see him get in the end zone. That was awesome. Bateman having some solid plays and making them count when his numbers called. Hopkins continued to show up, had a huge pass interference again, making an elite catch, toe tap on the sideline. Lamar distributing the ball like he's been. Lamar's playing good. They had a good game plan against them. They got after the O-line and him and had a spy. I felt like every time there was somebody in his face. And, I think a lot of teams haven't been able to do that. And the Lions had a good plan and they executed offensively and defensively. And we got to take a hard look at ourselves and figure it out. But we've been in this situation before, 1 or 2, where everyone says, this, that, and the other. And, bet. I hope those that stay with us ride, because it's a long season. But that's that for the game. Going to Kansas City, tough environment. Patty Mahomes is going to be a good game. I'm excited for the challenge. Excited to see how our team responds on a short week. I'm excited. But around the NFL, things I saw, was able to watch most of the games, touch on a couple. Panthers, Falcons. I felt like the Carolina defense played lights out against Michael Penix. They were everywhere, it seemed like. And Bryce Young was making throws, making plays. The Browns-Packers game, have to touch on that. It's no shot, but at all, it's just tough when you put a target on your back, talking about undefeated season, and then lose in that fashion, a game where you have it won 10-0, and then all of a sudden you look up at the scoreboard and it's 13 and there's no time left. Crazy game sequence, and that was crazy. Cleveland's defense is going crazy. Grant Delpit's pick, huge. Judkins was running the ball pretty good in this game, and then they hit a game winner at the end, and he hit it after having some misses in the game. So kudos to that kicker, Smite. Sorry if I butchered it. Just staying the course. The Jags-Texans game was just back and forth defensive battle. Texans end up going up, getting a touchdown from C.J. Stroud to Nico. That was just a back and forth game. Both sides, it was just like both sides struggling offensively, and then it was like who's gonna make the play. And Jags made more plays. It's tough to win in the NFL. That's what I also watched over the weekend. I really don't think people realize how hard it is to win in the NFL, and then people see teams that don't have the talent or whatever it is, and it's like dudes are getting paid, dudes are competitive, and they want to win every single game. People aren't going out there just to not try to win, and I haven't been on a team like that, and I've had 2 losing seasons out of my 12 years where people are like, nah, but they were still trying to win. Like, they were still trying to win. There was still fight, and you just don't go out there just to go out there, from my point of view and just what I've been around. Guys have egos, coaches have egos, guys put in a lot of time and effort, and they're trying to win and getting paid to win. Next game was the Vikings-Bengals. The next 2 were kind of the turnover after turnover, the Isaiah Rodgers show. 2 defensive touchdowns. It was crazy watching. Very, very insane. Steelers-Patriots, 21-14. It seemed like there was a sack or a turnover in this game. It was pretty wild. Offenses were both kind of roller coasters, but Pittsburgh did enough to win. They just figured it out. They had crazy turnovers in the red area. The pick Drake had, and then Ramondre's going over the goal line. Neither PQ or Cam Hayward hit it. Couldn't figure out who hand was, but that was a wild game. The Eagles-Rams game. Rams dominated for 3 quarters, and then all of a sudden the damn Eagles come all the way back. Championship team. It's impressive. You just can't count teams out. You got to close it out. It's not easy, and everyone's like, "Oh, Blue Lead, it's hard to win. It's hard to find a way to win. It really is." And then, to come down to a field goal, Matthew Stafford, he's still incredible. And then to have a field goal blocked again and then taken to the crib as the exclamation. What a game that was. Buccaneers, Jets, another wild game. Special teams, Will McDonald, he's a special talent, jumped over the line, block it, take it to the crib. Baker Mayfield making it happen. Backup O-lineman everywhere, and he just finds a way to win. It's impressive. And the defense came up when it mattered in that game, and the Colts 3-0 beat the Titans, and Danny Jones, Danny Dimes, that's what I wanted to call him, is hooping. You can say whatever you want, but he's looking like a top 10 quarterback this year. I'm through 3 games. Like, he's playing really, really good football. I think he needs to slide a little bit more because he's been injured his whole up and down in his career, not his whole career, but a lot of it. And, he's got to protect himself. He's playing really good football. Indy JT is running that rock. Jonathan Taylor, their defense is stingy. Had a pick 6. Kenny Moore, they're just a grimy team right now. Chargers Bronco, another grimy team right now. Justin Herbert's playing elite. I did an interview earlier this year, and they spliced my context and about Justin. I've always said Justin is a dog, and he's playing like one. He's playing like an MVP so far through the first 3 games. Chargers O-line coming up from injuries. They looked sharp. And then Cameron Dicker the kicker, who when he first got there, I didn't even know who he was before he kicked a game winner. And now he's kicked 100 field goals for the Chargers, and just impressive. And then Denver, they just missed out on a lot of opportunities. Bears Cowboys, Caleb Williams played well, and Cowboys injuries showed up CD in this one. Niners Cardinals, back and forth game. Tough to see Connor go out, but Mac Jones coming through in the crunch time. It was fun. I got to text Mac Jones the other day. I was hyped for him. It's awesome seeing people have success in their career and after, getting kind of kicked to the curb. So good for Mac Jones. Chiefs Giants, the Sunday night game. The most impressive play to me in this game was Mahomes throwing it backwards, realizing he did that. The Giants players, one of them missed it, the other one picked it up, and then he snatched it out and then snatched everything by winning the game, putting the team on his back. Just super impressive win by Kansas City of being 0-2 and clawing their way back, and 1-2, and we're going to see them this weekend. Last segment, 2-minute drill. Here we go. We've got a question from my Substack. That's called One More Shot. Go subscribe if you haven't. I usually have something there every Tuesday that you can look at. And Ryan Isaac asked, do you feel like your ability to be a leader in the locker room or in the film room is diminished when you're injured? That's a really good question. And sometimes I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna be vulnerable right here and say sometimes I do feel like it's diminished because, it's easy to sit here and critique and say this and say that. And it's hard to be there and be a voice for people, and you're not out there. So yes and no. I think it all depends, and I can do a better job of that. I felt like I can always do better, be a better leader, and I'm going to try better this week. When an opposing team goes for the ball on every 4th down, what does that do to a defense? How do you respond mentally? I don't think, to that question, who cares? It's your job to get another stop, and it sucks when they get a 1st down after a 4th down, but you just got to line it back up and do another set. What schematically did the Lions do to get 7 sacks on Lamar? I just think they played a spy, and they rushed, they got him off his spot to kind of push him into the spy, essentially. And they did a good job. The spies did a good job of harassing Lamar, whether it was making him throw before he wanted to or getting him down. What was the energy like going to the stadium? Honestly, it was amazing. There's not many stadiums like M&T Bank. It's one of the best. It's top 3 in the NFL, and I think it's number 1. But yeah, it sucks when you lose. What does rehabbing look like for you during the week? Rehabbing, I don't want to get too much into it, but it just is a grind. Mentally, physically, emotionally, just trying to get everything in your power to, fix what you need to fix and get better and get healthy. But days are long, trying to do double, triple days, treatment, rest, all those things in order to get healthy and back on the field to do my job. What are your early thoughts on the Chiefs? I feel like they're good. They had some really good plays this last week against the Giants, and they're tough and stingy on defense, and we're going to have our work cut out. I'm going to end on this. Why should the flock be optimistic? Because that's what we need to do. 1-2. We were in this last year together. Let's get out of this together. Let's get them vibes going, even though everybody wants to be low. I'm going to control my vibes and keep them high and keep them optimistic. Let's go. Let's ride, baby. See y'all next week.